It's Our Story. Jim Tuscher, St. Louis, Missouri.
We were out at his center in '79, but he had already left. He had already left the center at Berkeley. I started meeting him at meetings, pulling together the early organization that eventually became the National Council on Independent Living, and post-polio conferences and things like that. I had run into Ed, and the typical thing was not to go to the sessions, but to stay out in the hall and shoot the breeze and get to know people. And that's where basically where I got to know him. And I visited him once when I was out in California for a meeting, just a brief meeting. Yeah. I thought he had a great sense of humor, and I had heard a story about him that just sort of sold me on him before I ever met him, and sort of made him one of my heroes before I ever laid eyes on him. It was a story that Max Starkloff told me about him, that when he was working to develop personal in-home services, personal assistance in the state of California, the then governor, I believe it was Reagan, had threatened to cut the budget and do away with those services. And Ed went on television that morning and did a long interview about the potential cut to those critical services, to not only to Ed's life, but the lives of a lot of his friends that he'd helped get out of institutions and so on. And at the end of the interviewer looked him right in the eye and said, "Ed, what are you going to do if the governor goes ahead and makes those cuts?" And Ed looks right back into the camera and says, "I'm going to shoot myself." Which those of us who knew Ed knew that he'd have to have a personal assistant help hold the gun up to his head and pull the trigger, and I think there'd be ethical issues in that. So, but the governor, in any case, the governor didn't make the cuts. So I thought it was a great story. I don't even know if it's true, but it's in disability lore these days. I mean, I can't remember any jokes he cracked or anything like that. I just remember him as being always seeing a humorous side to stuff, and I just thought he had a marvelous mind, that he could be deadly serious, but then the other part of his mind could be sort of running alongside, poking jokes at it too.
The It's Our Story project is a national effort to make disability history public and accessible. Visit us at www.itsourstory.org or on the It's Our Story project YouTube channel.